Hello and welcome back to A Better World. This is your host Mitchell J. Rabin, and I'm very glad you're joining us again today. Today we are going to be continuing with a dialogue that we've been having for some time on the subject of sustainability. We like to look at both the inner ecology, that is the mind, psyche of man, and understanding some of its mechanisms and how it creates the world outside of itself, and how it generates the kind of world that it does, and look at outer ecology, that is the world it's created, and understanding the kind of destructive influence that we as a collective society are having on our dear precious Mother Earth. And of course, the whole idea is to come up with solutions for one, coming up with an antidote for the mind, and number two, coming up with sustainable, replenishable, renewable solutions for our dear planet Earth, so we are living in harmony with her instead of against her. So, for that purpose, we have asked Mike Waters to join us today. Mike is an expert in sustainability. He has been a consultant and a researcher for the past 7 to 8 years on these subjects. He's got an interesting background both in library science as well as in technology, and he's done very well in both, and he has really turned his attention to this area of sustainability and magnetizing, if you will, technologies that really can help to change the way we do business of living our lives on the surface of this beautiful earth. So, Michael, pleasure to have you.
Very much.
So, we look around, we see a plethora of issues about the way we deal with the earth. So we have what we refer to as global warming, as climate change, as just plain old, and those are a bit controversial actually. So let's just talk about pollution, contamination of our air, our soil, our water, and what is the level of crisis we're facing in your estimation, and then we'll get into sort of what we can do about it.
Bad.
It's bad. The doctor says it's bad.
We have several converging crises, obviously. I think that's pretty evident to most people.
Yes.
You look at the climate, there's now droughts on every continent. There's still debate as to what's causing the climate issues, but we do have issues.
Yeah, we have issues.
Regardless of that debate, the biggest issue is pollution. But in terms of the crisis facing man, it does go beyond the environmental issues. It's very much linked to everything, of course, as we know. But let's just say that we are facing a global food crisis, a global water crisis, a global energy crisis, a resource crisis, and a health crisis. You know,
and an economic crisis.
And economics, of course, is primary. Yes.
So what we see is, when we go back to one of my favorite areas, language, we see that the root of the word economics and ecology is the same, from the Greek word echo,
Right.
which relates to home. So the economics of home is the same as the economics of ecology. And there's been this crossover really in the rational, intelligent thinkers of at least this century, Paul Hawken being one, The Ecology of Commerce, showing that intelligent commerce is generated out of ecologically sensitive thinking. Mm-hmm. So I just want to hear what you might have to say about that and that linkage there.
Well, it's a synergistic system. Too bad we don't have a synergistic word.
Yeah,
we should have a word
exactly.
that ties economics to ecology and environment, since...
Ecolonomia.
Well, I've heard
Ecolonomics,
which is
right.
complicated, but regardless of the word...
It's hard to say. It's not ecological to say.
No. They are linked, everything.
But they are linked, at least in the prefix,
yes.
already.
Everything on this planet is synergistic, as we know. And any problem we face, the planet faces, and vice versa. So, it's sort of, the analogy is we live in a fishbowl. And if we muck around in the water too much, we can't breathe it anymore. what goes around comes around.
Truly.
Absolutely. And
pure physics.
Yin Yang is a very good symbol for what life is on this planet. So if you start from that as a ground rule, then every decision we make in business should have some ecological consideration.